Welcome everybody to finally episode 3 of Spelljammer Academy. Been delayed a bit, but you know things happen. People do have a life outside of D&D somehow.
What?
But I know, right? It's insane. I don't know how to even do that. But let's have a bit of a breakdown of what happened last session because it's been a month and most of us have forgotten.
It's been a while.
So, after our beloved, emotionally traumatized Chaos Gremlins, Spelljammers, completed their acquisitions at the Quartermasters, they had 2 tasks left for orientation. An obstacle course to assess their fitness and coordination, and to visit the Spelljammer Nexus to learn how to work a Spelljammer helm. Now, the obstacle course went well for most. Alistair, Astra, Cloby, and Kai burned through it with ease. Fair had a slight hiccup at the end.
No, I talk about it.
But made it through the course well enough. And Crystal and Imus had much more prolonged approaches. Crystal needed to learn how to get through the obstacles the hard way, and Imus just really wanted to study those explosions. But they made it through, and the crew moved on to their next task. In the Spelljammer Nexus, the crew met Serthabazin. I'm butchering that name because I'm vaguely remembering how to pronounce it. The lead instructor for Spelljammer operation. But they soon found out the only thing Serth loves more than instructing prospective Spelljammers is asking horribly invasive personal questions. But those who were questioned answered to the instructor's satisfaction, though some were a bit evasive. And they got passing marks, so they were able to report back to Bosun Tardo. When they made it back to the Bosun, she was next to a crate and asked for a report from Cloby. Healed those who were injured and gave them their next task. Take the crate to the Old Wolf, Mert the Merciless, Chief Financial Officer and founder of the Spelljammer Academy. Fair and Imus opted to carry the crate, while Alistair fretted over it the whole way to Mert's quarters. But they made it there, and the party's first impression of Mert was that he was passed out and horribly hungover. Alistair tried to wake Mert up and get him to get himself together before everyone else came in, but the rest of the crew didn't exactly wait, so they were in there shortly after Alistair, so it didn't help much. But he told him to set the crate on the rug, open it as quietly as possible, and leave. With the crate open, Nyogi hatchlings came pouring out.
Yes.
Yeah, space cockroaches. Think Edgar's bug form from Men in Black.
No. I'm good. I'm full. Thanks.
You're not
Fair
full
man.
until I say you're full. That sounded better in my head.
Yeah, Blake, you really need to do less of that.
Wait, Curse of Strahd is Tuesdays.
Yeah. Fair managed to magically induce sleep in some of the halflings, and then made friends with a small octopus.
The one time sleep will be used in this game. It was done right.
You did good. I'm very proud. Alistair then grabbed the table the octopus was on, and managed to smash 2 of the hatchlings with the table, and injured one with his boot. Astra launched a firebolt, managing to finish one that was stomped on. Cloby went back to the basics and stabbed one with his dagger, and Crystal veritably freaked out and started swatting at them with her rapier. Because, ew, bugs. Kai managed to get a very precise stab on one Nyogi, and from there was just mopping up the unconscious ones while Mert lumbered out of bed and grabbed at his pants. As the clash of the fight cleared, boots thundered down the hallway, and Mr. Blip came in, looking incredibly worried even for an auto-gnome. After Mert stopped ranting about how embarrassing this assassination attempt was, and how it ruined his day, Blip informed him and the crew that it was merely a distraction, and the thief had struck again. Before anything else was said, Mert gave each of the crew a gold ingot, asked for their discretion in the matter, and they were dismissed to their quarters. And that was the last session. So, that brings us to what's supposed to be the start of Session 2 of Spelljammer Academy, Trial by Fire.
Woo!
So, tensions have been running high at Spelljammer Academy on the island of Nimbrel, thanks to a recent rash of thefts and an attack against the Academy's founder. The instructors have made it clear that it's business as usual for new cadets, though. The characters will be put to the test as they participate in a competitive series of illusory training exercises against another squad of cadets. The characters are to take charge of their own spelljamming ship, applying a magical simulation of wild space on a mission to seek out the wreckage of a ship lost in an asteroid cluster. Are they up to the challenge? Maybe. Perhaps.
Wait, we're supposed to be by ourselves?
Yes.
Oh. Air looks over at Kai and then just kind of... I can do that. I can do that.
But this session starts out like every good day should. Eating breakfast in the Academy's refectory. There's other cadets discussing recent events. While adventurers of all stripes explore Faerun and deal with the perils of ancient ruins and cults and tombs, those who come to the Spelljammer Academy strive to protect the world from far greater threats. The Academy trains the cadets for service as Spelljammers and members of the Spelljammer Corps, both branches of a magical navy sworn to protect Toril and explore other worlds beyond. Few people know of the Academy's existence, and its leaders try to keep it that way. Mert the Merciless, known as the Old Wolf, is Spelljammer Academy's founder and chief financial officer. He manages the institution's operations alongside a small group of powerful, high-ranking officers known collectively as the Bridge. While most of its candidates are from Toril, the Academy occasionally recruits from outside realm space, which is the wild space system that is home to the planet Toril, to bring individuals with unique talents into their ranks. Gif, Githyanki, Hidozi, Plasmoids, and myriad other peoples can join the cadets alongside folks native to Toril. The Academy was founded by Mert as part of a joint investment with a retired elf adventurer, Elmandar, who operates a shop on the Rock of Brawl, a city built on an asteroid. Prince Andrew, the Monarch of Brawl, has invested heavily in the Academy, though his support has waned of late over questions regarding security of the institution. So, today is the day. It's the official start of your Academy training. Fresh from orientation, you and your crewmates are to report to Serth, but before you head out, your first stop is the refectory for a hearty breakfast.
I like to think that Alistair and Fair and like a few other people have already like sat down and got their food, and the entire thing of like the lore of the Academy is coming from Alistair from the book, and Fair just like kind of raises their hand.
You think Alistair didn't memorize that shit?
memorized it and is like gesturing to the book instead of reading. Fair just raises their hand and like looks a little confused.
Yes.
Who's the wolf again?
Mert. The guy yesterday.
Oh, the drunken man.
His name is Captain Mert.
Captain
He's
Mert.
the founder of this university, not some drunk.
Right.
None of us would be here. If
He can be
hadn't
two
done
things.
it.
No, if the two are mutually exclusive, I think he could be both a founder and a drunk.
The point is that none of us would be here if it wasn't for him.
Are you saying he's like a god? Did he create people?
No,
at the
no,
school?
I meant Atlas Academy specifically.
Fair, honey.
The one that he founded. That's what I was just telling you.
I'm gonna
Like,
be
I've
honest, you were
memorized all
speaking
the
a bit
books.
too fast, and I didn't understand everything you said.
Think
But
of
it
I've
him
sounded
like
good.
Important information in here.
think
and
of him
Alistair
like
will
a
pass
priest
the
who
book.
found a religion.
What was that? Crystal?
Think of him as a priest that found a religion.
Understand? Okay.
And the religion was spaceships.
That sounds like a really cool religion.
It is.
But I already have one. But it sounds cool. I suppose that maybe I can talk to Mert about how he does things with his church, if there is one. Is this the church? Is the academy? And I look over at Alistair, who's passing a book to me. What's this?
I think you should read it.
Okay.
This is like the gospel of the spaceship religion.
Oh. Sarah, like, closes the book that she was about to start reading, and she, like, they go into their armor and, like, their jumpsuit, pull out their holy symbol, and just, like, hold it and, like, whisper quietly, "Dear goddess moon above, beholder of the stars above, is it okay if I read a book about another religion? Or are you going to damn me to the eternal wastes that are the pools of the astral sea?"
It's perfectly fine. Read all you can.
Thank you, Moon Mother of us all. Immediately opens it up. Chapter 1. Space. What is space? Just mumbling, reading it out loud to themselves.
But as you're in the refectory, the galley is run by Petty Officer Winston Ryback, a rather stocky GIF, who I am dropping his picture in the chat. Vax, if you want to do the OBS magic.
It's not even magic. I just click the chat.
It
and
is
then
to me.
click the photo. Behold!
Hold
Um,
this
He's a little guy.
What?
love
Little guy.
He's a muscular GIF in charge of the food service at
Yeah, he
the
is.
academy, and on a rare occasion, he crews a ship. Like anyone else who runs a respectable galley, he's a staunch believer in the 4 basic food groups: beans, bacon, whiskey, and lard. So,
Nice.
he's raucous and brash and gives bear hugs so good you think he might break a rib, but in a good way.
Oh.
His
Oh.
what the fuck was that noise?
It was and then
His great.
oh. So,
Please don't get horny for Hippo Man.
I'm not getting horny for the hippo man. I'm trying to be funny. Anyways.
Okay. But there's
Speak for yourself.
okay. But he's preparing meals for the hungry cadets, and there's there's about a dozen other cadets, all lined up in the counter or seated at tables. You receive a bowl containing a smoky concoction of either deep fried meat or bean, held together with sticky starches. Though the galley cook is never given his signature dish a name, most cadets call it just gunpowder chowder.
Oh, okay.
So, in addition to y'all, there's another group of cadets that are receiving their first training flight today. Well, simulated. You see them sitting off to the side. There's a rather worried looking young male human. Has what appears to be a wand and a spell component pouch hanging off his belt. An amethyst dragonborn who you can see a holy symbol hanging from her neck sits beside him, along with another arcanist, a Durgar of more non-specific gender. I told you about this one, Vex.
Sorry, Kai, you're not here to stop me. Hey.
There's also an orc priest, has a amulet of helm around his neck and a red robe over his academy clothes. And then there's two more martial looking ones. A male Shatterkai and a female half-elf that she doesn't smile much, but when her mouth does open, you see a bit of fang. You feel like she might be a Dampier.
Dampier.
I'm getting fair.
I should have been the bard. Ask, can we switch? No, I'm joking.
No, you don't get that ability. You do not get those rights.
I'd be too powerful with those rights.
Tired of Shatterkai. The Dampier looks tired of the Shatterkai because the Shatterkai is going full annoyingly super goth emo kid. The darkness in your soul calls to me like death poems whispered at midnight. I need you to shut up and stop saying that.
Don't waste your time.
And the rest of them are just shaking their heads. Yeah, no, like, he does have hair over half his face. Because that's how I see Shatterkai. Emo elves.
The My Chemical Romance band?
Yeah, no. Drow are hardcore goth and Shatterkai are emo.
Oh, Alistair, did you know that a Spelljammer ship can travel 100 million miles in 24 hours?
Only if you obey the Spelljammer recommended speeds. But yes, that's true. I suppose.
How fast can they go?
Are you done eating? Because we have a thing to get to.
I thought I was reading the book. Right,
Well,
we have things. I passed the book back.
No, you can keep it. It's a gift.
A gift? Thank you. I suppose I could give you one.
Don't worry about it.
It's my background starts looking through things.
No. You really don't. It's okay. I promise.
I have a scroll with studies from my church. I know you like knowledge.
The best gift that you could give me is finishing your food.
Okay. You gave me a gift. Does this mean we're friends?
Sure. Whatever you want.
Okay, Alistair, friend. I'll eat my breakfast and just just going aggressively eating all of the breakfast as quickly as I can.
Okay.
Her
Yeah,
brain,
no,
the brain
it's-
cells are gone. What's a brain cell?
Well, where you sat is pretty much at the same table as this other group of like reprobates, because it is like standard cafeteria seating. Those stupid round stools that are attached to the freaking fold-up tables.
Ew.
Yeah.
Having
No one
the
has fond
Do the
memories of
stools
those.
spin? Do they spin?
They do not.
Ew.
Crystal
They're
makes
the
them spin.
worst.
Crystal breaks her chair.
She just.
I don't think
She has not been
understand.
touching her. She has not been touching her lunch. She does not want to touch her lunch. She is trying to figure
Breakfast.
out how to make these spin. Breakfast. She's not eating it anyways.
It's like, listen, I need these to spin for the drama, okay?
I need to be Sharpay in the lunchroom of High School Musical.
I'm going to be in here every day and not eat the food. These chairs better spin.
Listen. And plus, it's Wednesday. We're all supposed to be wearing pink.
Yeah. Where the fuck is y'all's? It's embarrassing.
But, who would
Does
be
anyone
sitting...
have a wrench?
Imus, like, just, like, leans over and is like, here.
Thank you. And she's just trying to loosen the screw.
Now, who would be sitting most inboard on the table, like, closest to this other group?
Probably me.
Alistair is sitting closest to whatever door lets him get out of the cafeteria. Like, they look like they're almost vibrating with how much they are, like, ready.
Like, they're ready. Freaking.
I think
Yeah.
Kirby said he was near.
Yeah.
So, Clovey, the human arcanist, he leans over and is like, "Hi, I'm Micken."
Hello, I'm Cloby.
Yeah, I'm so glad that I'm here. Everything I've heard about spell jamming, it seems great. It's just I just hope I'm good enough, you know?
I think as long as you give it your best, you will do fine.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Hey. You said perception or persuasion?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. That's a 19.
Awesome. It was like just those simple little words of affirmation. He's like, okay, Yeah. Yeah. This is okay. And plus, I've got a great team with me. I should be fine. Yeah. As long as I don't go up against anyone, too crazy, it should be fine. Yeah. Thank you. What was your name again?
Cloby.
Nice to meet you, Cloby.
Nice to meet you as well.
Anything else anyone wants to do during breakfast?
Does anyone have any like oil to like help lose, like kind of make it do the thing?
I could get really
Make
sad
what
again.
do what thing?
Yeah. I do think Alistair wants to kind of try to size up the people on the other side of the table. Try to see if there's anybody over there that he might be worried about, or any like quote unquote natural leaders among the group.
Who can I make my arch nemesis?
So do you want to do an inside check, or do you want to do a Black and Forge Classic vibe check?
Let's go with the vibe check. I don't know if I've ever done a vibe check.
Vibe check.
Okay. It's a charisma based with with proficiency. So go ahead and roll charisma with proficiency.
13.
13?
Mm-hmm.
You're not worried about Macon. You're not overly worried about the Dampier or the Shatterkai. The Durgar might be just cutthroat enough to be an issue. And maybe the orc looks like he might have enough presence to be a potential leader, but the Dragonborn doesn't really. So it may be the Durgar, maybe the orc.
Yeah, I think Alistair is getting ready to stand up, and as they do, they look at each of them, possibly making eye contact, possibly not. Yeah.
Make
Just a
Fabian
quick fuck
Seacaster
you
proud.
Like, the type of look, that you give when you're trying to, I'm about to go. Around.
Fear? Oh no.
Neither of them notice. Like, they're all like talking to each other and like tucked into their meals, so it's like you're like posturing at like the sides of their heads.
Can I do something really fucking stupid?
Perfect.
You know what? That's what D&D is for. Do something really fucking stupid.
I want to cast Fairy Fire on Alistair. So that he stands out. Just.
There a save associated with that?
Good dex.
It's a dex save. I want to try. I want to make him glow like a bright neon green. It's a dex save.
Alistair, do you want to glow a
Do you want
bright
to be
neon
seen?
green?
As soon as they look over, I'm gonna drop it. Like, I just want it to, like, make them look at him.
Oh. I don't know. I don't think Alistair is paying very close attention.
Okay, so you dex save, yeah.
Alright. That's a 13.
Does not save, so boom.
Congratulations, you're suddenly a glowing one.
I'm so glad that we are bullying each other as school children do.
These smell slots will likely be useful later, but who really cares?
It's like the other group starts to turn their heads because like all of a sudden, whomp.
As soon as they start looking over, I like drop concentration on it and I just go back to eating my breakfast. Like,
But yeah, now all 6 of them are staring at you.
Alistair just froze, like, and is standing there, like, was like probably like the only one
Just
like that. I'm when there's like the awkward silence and everybody is looking at the same person. And then Alistair is just frozen.
Does anyone have a hammer?
I'm just trying to...
And the orc just like pulls out like a light hammer out of his belt and it's like, there you go, name's Hoka.
Crystal, thank you very much. And she's gonna swoop the hammer and then just start beating at the chair. Fucking budge.
Yeah, no. So Petty Officer Ryback comes over like, what are you doing to the chair?
Trying to make it spin.
I'm spinning my caboose.
Roll an investigation check.
Oh lord. Nat 20.
Hey!
Okay. You hadn't noticed it earlier because your passive is not great for investigation. But there's literally a button that you could have pressed to make it spin. He points it out to you.
Just beating the shit out of it with a hammer. You've been hitting the button this entire time and just been like slowly spinning.
It just pops back out.
Turning it on and turning it off, so it's just like doot, 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 doot. You don't even notice it.
Yeah, see? Just push that.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Just kind of puts her feet up on the chair and just starts spinning.
Just trying to help.
Causing Alistair to further lose his damn mind.
Trying to help.
As she's spinning. If anyone wants my food, they can take it.
And
Do not want it.
Petty Officer Ryback is just like, what's wrong with my food?
I'm vegan and allergic to beans.
Gonna be a rough time for you then.
That's all it makes. That's all he makes. I insight check Crystal.
But I do have something. And he brings a bowl of white rice.
Oh, nice. Is it sticky rice?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This is... You have made my day, good sir.
What I do.
Can I
She's gonna
insight
You're a
check
pretty cool guy.
Crystal?
Go ahead. Listen, half of y'all are sketchy like a mugshot, so go ahead and insight check each other.
A natural 20.
We're gonna...
Natural
No, I didn't
20,
do that.
so
I am
that's a minimum of
27.
25.
It's a 27.
Yeah, I am definitely not allergic to beans. And
You're just a picky bitch.
No.
and Crystal very much gives the energy of someone who would say she's vegan when it's convenient.
I squint at Crystal.
Someone like that, they're so damn annoying.
I squint Accusatorily. Something's not adding up.
She eats her rice like they're not squinting at her.
I look over and see Alistair
Dick.
still standing in the middle of the
Are we-
Alistair, still
Do we have
frozen.
somewhere to
Just
pee?
like, yeah, no, you do, but you keep doing
Okay,
crazy shit.
we
in the
need to
refectory.
leave. I don't. What are we doing? Stop eating and I'm using that hammer. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll return the
You're
hammer
awaited in the.
and then I'll leave.
You're awaited in the simulations deck.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hallucinate productively. Okay.
Okay.
That's always a fun time, really.
Yeah. I'm gonna make it a point to beat Alistair out of the room.
Yeah, I think that being said, like, snaps Alistair out of it and is like, yeah, we need to go. And like when you start speed walking, Alistair starts speed walking. But like Alistair is the
Gradually
first
getting
person to like,
faster.
break into like the really awkward run. Like,
Flintlock
Hey,
wood!
I
You
will
swing
full
in, but
sprint
like
there.
only a walking speed.
What the fuck? Okay. But yeah, no, you make it to the simulations deck at, a little bit before because of the whole, speed walking fiasco.
Yeah.
But just behind you is, the group of cadets that you ate breakfast with.
Hydrate if you can,
And
guys. If you'd like to.
hydrate or dihydrate.
Mm.
Um,
Are we, y'all?
what-
Do we want to be friends with these
Water.
people, or are we?
I mean, there are your opponents as well.
I think we
Oh.
should be.
So we can be rivals.
I've
should
I've
be
Not
already
enemies, not friends,
playfully mean.
rivals.
Playfully mean.
already got more people than I can keep track of. So
We could just pretend be like enemies, but just kind of still be nice.
we
Let's
can't
see how
have
they
an
do
enemies to
before we-
lovers storyline at the Spelljammer. Let's not.
Oh
That
my
works too.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
Oh.
Is it? Why would it be?
I don't. It just feels like that's not the right vibes.
Fair looks at the audience.
Fair Jim faces the audience.
I just look to the wall. Just.
I doubt that because in the simulations nexus, there's Bosun Tardo and Saratha Abazan.
Yeah, no, that's an enemies to lovers killer right there. Being graded on your performance. Whew. I'm gonna go lightheaded.
And,
Chuckling so much.
Saratha is making sure their hair is all in place, and the bosun is chewing on her cigar because she butch as fuck. What, Queso? What was the face?
Don't worry about it. It's fine. We're fine.
Chewing on cigars is a gross habit. That's all.
It's not a great one.
It's like someone that really wants to chew
then you
tobacco,
get
but
flicks
they
of
themselves
tobacco.
carry around a no.
Actual tin of tobacco is
Yeah.
because then you get
Like,
flecks
I-
of dried tobacco. It's no.
Yeah. No, not into it. Anyways, how do I murder the other children?
What? We're killing? What?
No, fair. Sorry, fair. We're gonna do a simulation like when we first got here. Yeah.
Okay,
So we're only going
just
to kill them for fame.
Yeah. It's a fake murder.
I mean, like, I if like that's what we were doing, I just didn't think that I didn't remember seeing that on the itinerary. So I was just a bit caught off guard.
Okay. I mean, we're in it together, so it'll be fine.
Okay, where is the killing zone? I looked to Astra
the
like,
bosun-
did I do it right?
The bosun steps forward and. All right, kids. Welcome. Today you're going to be going through a bit of an exercise, visiting a derelict spelljammer that's in an asteroid field and trying to get there faster than the other ship. So,
Perfect.
for each spelljammer, now each one is required to have someone acting as the spelljammer, and that requires magical talent. But the role of captain also needs to be filled, and shipmate also needs to be filled. So you'll need to navigate your ship through the debris field on the outskirts of Kaliar, a sodding big gas giant. There, you're to salvage the captain's logbook from the wreckage of an abandoned ship and return to your starting point with your own ship intact. And Tardo glares, intact, not first. Get the mission done properly, not quick. And
I'm gonna look at Alistair.
Alistair is
I know.
also looking at Astra.
We're having some intense eye contact about the situation.
Or
And
looks
then
at
Alistair
Kai.
says, I think only natural for you to take on the role of navigating the ship. I don't believe anybody could do it better than you, Astra.
Mm.
No,
it's just to
I
keep
don't
her
know
from
if I
being
like that.
captain.
It is to keep me from, but Astra desperately, nothing would please her more than to navigate the ship. So she's happy to.
To jam
She
some
knows
spells.
she knows it's catty, but she's going to accept the position.
You're right, Alistair, and maybe Kai should be captain?
Kai seems distracted. But we'll all have opportunity to be captain at some point. We'll probably take
I
on the
can
role
be
this time.
captain. I want to be captain.
I vote Crystal captain. What do you think, Astra?
If that-
Cracking up at Alistair not
Uh.
getting any support for his desire.
So, a captain should have good, basically strong, either wisdom or charisma traits, and
Okay.
Spelljammer should have good intelligence or wisdom. I think you have that covered with Astra. But shipmates will mostly benefit from strength and dexterity.
Oh God.
In that
I
case,
guess
Crystal's our captain.
Well,
She doesn't.
In a little bit.
She's distracted by the
I
nomination.
concede.
She's leaving.
I can be a shipmate. I got a new thing to be able to defend the ship, so I'll be a shipmate. I'll help that way.
Perfect. As will I.
We're on the same team. Well, we're all on the same team, but we're doing the same thing. I think that's neat.
Yes. So neat.
Also,
Dying inside a
America's
little bit.
listening. So just don't touch the gas. Find the book. Don't get hurt. Is that her job?
Essentially.
Okay. Work.
Bosun, looks over this little whole debate and it's like actually nods at the decision and like make sure to make eye contact with you, Alistair, and give like just a quick like gruff little wink. Just like gotta learn all the roles. Can't just jump to one.
Of course.
It'll be okay.
If it would make you feel better, Alistair, you could tell me what to do.
We'll worry about that when we're in the simulation.
I salute Alistair.
But Bosun Tardo takes the other crew off to one simulation chamber, and Serth gestures to another with y'all.
okay. I'll go.
Yeah.
Alistair follows.
I've heard this.
Right through
from...
here, you'll see the Spelljammer helm
Okay.
in the middle.
I'll just sit down very quickly.
What's that?
Astro sits down very quickly in the seat. Just almost as if fearful it will be taken from her.
Yeah, Alistair stares longingly at the captain's chair and sits at the shipmates section.
Can I,
What?
before going in, the other team's like still going in, is there anybody like straggling towards the back before we go into our rooms?
Yeah. Micken.
Hi, I've heard that in performance and in competitions, this is a good luck statement. I hope that you break your legs.
Here, get in here.
Oh,
Thank you.
Weird, that is
Good
not
luck
how that
to
is not how it goes.
I'm gonna. Good
Stop
luck.
talking to them.
I
Bye.
think I did good. I think
I don't know how to people. How do I people?
I had to. It hit me, and I was like, I have to do this before Fair gets a brain cell. Because once we level
my
up
only
again,
time
Fair's
to be a
gonna
chronic
have the brain
dumbass.
cell again. Oh, eventually I'll have a brain cell, and then I won't be able to do all of this.
That was pretty good.
What?
I'm done. I'm sorry.
On the platform where the helm and all the little physical things are that are part of the simulation chamber, it hasn't like popped out yet. Sereth steps back from it, holds palms outward, and begins an incantation. Sigils scrawl along the walls and floors, glowing brightly, intensifying as the training officer weaves their illusion. Good luck, cadets, and don't be afraid. Though these illusions are realistic, thanks to my arcane prowess, they are just that, illusions. And blue-white lines form around you, and they begin to etch the shape of a ship deck around the platform on which you stand. The room melts away amid an explosion of colors and textures and sounds that place you on the deck of a ship that is shaped like a gigantic hammerhead shark. It's situated in the sky dock atop Spelljammer Academy. Scuttling clouds fill the sky above you. So, rules for the simulator. The simulation around the characters affects their senses. Everything looks, feels, sounds real, with the illusion able to create the sense that characters are in areas whose dimensions are larger than the room. Everything within the illusion, treat it like you're actually there. Now, you can't dispel the illusion, or you can't sense that it's an illusion with detect magic. And anyone that gets reduced to 0 hit points by the simulation, you fall unconscious, but no death saves.
Okay.
When it ends, you awaken with 1 hit point and a level of exhaustion.
Ooh.
And when it ends, you get all. Well, okay, you do get all your lost hit points back, and spell slots and limited use powers. So, first things first, you need to ascend to wild space. So, Astra, go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
Okay.
You got
Maybe
this,
it's 21?
bestie.
I'm sorry, what was that?
21.
Okay. You started up like a natural, and it immediately starts ascending into wild space.
Gotta go
So
fast.
I want to
The
give
island of
Astra some bardic inspiration.
Gotta go fast.
The island of Nimbrel disappears quickly beneath your ship, which passes through clouds until the spectacular void of wild space comes into view. So, and Astra, you do have bardic inspiration. How are you giving the inspiration?
Like, as soon as she like sorts it out, like Crystal's just kind of just like, "Woo, you got this!" Not really being a help, but emotional help.
Sure,
I mean,
love
sometimes
it.
that's what a
She
captain
feels on top
does.
of her game.
And in lieu of doing some sort of ability, I go over to Alistair. Kind of a strange, weird kind of feeling is happening in Fair, where it's like I feel bad because you look upset, and I think it's my fault. Doesn't realize it's like a thing people usually feel, and places like a tentative hand on his shoulder and gives him vigilant blessing. So if we end up having to go into initiative, you have advantage.
Oh, wow. Like as you're
A
walking
few
up,
stars
Alistair,
on your
like,
shoulder.
as you're walking up, Alistair is saying, "That was a very smooth takeoff, Astra." And then says, like, like puts their hand on your shoulder and says, "Thank you, Fair. But you should really get strapped in. This is a simulation, but it can still get a bit rocky."
Okay. I'm sorry.
You haven't done anything.
You'll just look sad.
Okay, so first challenge is plotting the course. So there's a wild space map there near the helm. Crystal and Astra,
Mm-hmm.
it's your job to plot the course, while Alistair, Fair, and Cloby, you're setting shake loose a knot that is not coming undone like it should, or taking care of anything aboard the ship. So, Crystal, you can choose to either make a survival check or a persuasion check. I feel like I know which one you're going to pick.
Yeah. Oh my god. Wait. Oh wait, I don't have expertise yet, so I don't know what I'm. Oop, that's a 16 in persuasion.
All right. Yeah, Astra. Crystal is actually making some very salient points regarding, the course that you need to go. Either now, for Astra as the Spelljammer, I either need you to make an investigation check or a survival check.
Investigation or survival. Okay, I'm gonna do investigation. I'm gonna listen very intently to what Crystal's saying and try to be helpful.
You don't want to go
Gonna
this
be
way because that's like if you turn to left too many times, that's like just not good. But then if you go that way,
It's true. And
it's
then
miss.
I rolled an 18 and I'm gonna pipe in with, yeah, we gotta be careful because if we make 3 lefts, it's just gonna be a right.
Yeah. See, you got this.
Yeah. I high five Crystal.
I don't know.
Yeah,
She
no,
doesn't reciprocate.
you, yeah.
She's like,
Remember, Crystal
no
has a
touching.
thing about being
No
touched.
touching.
You
My
go
bad.
to high five Crystal, and then just like, no.
Even in the simulation?
Yeah, no
What's that?
touching.
I was double checking simulation rules.
I don't want to find out in a simulation.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
They
Yeah,
still feel.
between Crystal's charismatic presence and Astra's uh, knowledge, you're able to sort out what would be the best course. Clovey, Fair, and Alistair, either an athletics check or an acrobatics check, please and thank you.
Okay.
That'll be a 26 for athletic.
What was that, a 19
Yeah,
on the die?
Hey Joe,
You said acrobatics?
you go.
Or athletics, yes.
Athletics. Wait, you said acrobatics or athletics?
Yes.
Okay, then 21.
Okay. Yeah. No. And what was Fair's result?
Shit, you the fuck not. I also got a 19 on the die. 22.
Ugh.
Joe
Okay,
being
so
successful.
no, you're all running. This is the most perfectly rigged ship, especially with Alistair's actual knowledge of this, because Mert 100% has gotten him in the simulation stick when he wasn't supposed to. But it's like, oh, you're gonna learn everything, and that's why Alistair is positively vibrating. But yeah, no, it's perfect. And you are well on your way. You accelerate to proper spell jamming speed, racing through wild space towards the destination. But after about a minute or so in this simulated state, the ship returns to its normal flying speed. A school of giant space eels is swimming past the ship, and it's discharging bolts. They're discharging bolts of lightning as they pass by.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fire.
So the ship is caught in the eel's electrical storm, which starts, a few fires on the deck. So, avoiding the worst of the electrical storm and putting the fires out, Astra, could I get either a survival or an arcana check?
You can get an Arcana check. 25. You've got a plus 6
Okay,
Arcana.
yeah, no. Yeah, she's doing fine.
I love eels. They're actually my favorite animal. I'm thrilled to be here.
So, yeah. Just, like, please no Zappy. Yeah, no, you, like, execute a perfect, like, aileron roll, and, like, you're taking the ship through, like, you're going through where the lightning was, because you're pretty sure lightning isn't supposed to go in the same place twice. So it was like, okay, lightning was just there, I'm going here, and so on and so forth. And you're doing an outstanding job, because holy shit, that's a great roll. Crystal, I get either a survival.
Joe's gone.
Oh, he froze. Come back to us.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay,
there
you're back.
we are.
Huh?
What kind of roll do you need from Crystal?
Yay.
The beginning of the word survival.
Persuasion or survival?
Okay, more persuasion.
Persuade
Oh,
that
that's
spade.
that's another 16.
Okay, yeah, you're there, like, you're there at the deck, you're giving instructions, like, pointing, out where the fires are just starting, so that they can get put out before they reach, anything critical or start burning the rigging. And while still, like, it's still an impressive roll, just, like, and you're doing this held to the gravity well of the ship while, like, Astra's doing aileron rolls and crap and going all crazy with the ship. So, just because it turns upside down doesn't mean you fall off into wild space. You just might get a little motion sickness from time to time. But it's okay, it's fine. It's fine. And
Fine.
the shipmates, y'all are putting the fires out. So, either an athletics or an acrobatics check.
Okay, I got a natural one. So...
Me too!
Oh no.
Lord.
Woo!
I got a natural one for a total of 8.
4.
Which is still solid.
Can you put out
It's not
an
solid
electrical
enough.
fire with water?
I think at some point.
Well, I
Alistair-
mean, the electricity struck, and then it's not there anymore. But there are also
mean-
buckets filled with sand.
Okay. What was the check you said again?
Athletics or acrobatics?
Okay. Oh shit, that's a nat 1.
Three
That's
nat
four.
ones!
my God.
3 nat ones! 3 nat ones!
I should have just done create water.
Can we like kick them off? Are we allowed to leave? But can we just
No.
like?
Oh no. Oh
They'll
no!
still be in the
was-
simulation stack.
I can't just throw
They'll
them
just
into
be there,
space.
like, staring at you when you shut them. Yeah. Turn off the simulation, they're just there, like, glaring at you. Okay, so the fires get a little, they get a little bigger. Go ahead and give me another acrobatics or athletics check.
Don't fuck me!
Okay. 19.
18.
15.
Okay.
Thank you.
Passing scores. Good enough. Okay, so you start to put out the fires, and it's a bit of a clusterfuck to begin with, but you manage to get fire blankets and those buckets of sand, and you start to put out the fires and everything. There's some singe marks, but it adds to the character of the ship. It looks cool. There's no real structural damage. You're fine.
Can I
You
flavor
just,
how my nat one was?
Yeah.
So
Sure.
during all of these turns that are happening from Astra, I like to think that Fair slips and like slides and almost like into this simulation goes over the edge, but with the 15 being able to go back, almost instinctively, kind of spectral, like constellation wings brace a bit, pick up some speed, and they fly back to the deck a bit. Not like a full fly, but wings do appear. They don't realize they've appeared, land, kind of look around and see if anyone saw, and like they just dissipate back into stardust, and we start putting out fires again.
Crystal yells over.
All right.
I want any and all of those singed marks polished out before we land.
Already
Okay.
becoming a tyrant.
Can I try to have maybe
Okay.
hidden my wings?
Am I aware of how poorly this is going?
Yeah, no, you're at the helm. It's so basically like once it's activated, it's like a holographic display with like all sorts of cool like arcane symbols that you're like
Okay.
moving around and everything.
Okay.
So you can see through it. So you're like doing your thing, and then it's like, what the fuck? And then fucking
Yeah, it's like I'm like my eyes are darting back and forth in a panic as I watch what's going on else.
But everything turns out fine. It's fine. But the space
Is it
seals
actually
are a
fine,
safe
or is it
distance
like-
away. It's fine, TM.
You know, TM.
That's reassuring.
Yeah. Yeah. But space eels are now a safe distance away, and you're resuming the journey, traveling, rapidly at spelljamming speed. After another minute in this state, the ship arrives at the destination, the asteroid cluster. So now it's time to locate the abandoned ship. So doing so, you need to successfully navigate a careful route. So, shipmates, you have to be ready to be able to, adjust the rigging and, move it. I need y'all to make either an athletics or an acrobatics check.
Okay.
16.
Why did I think I'd be good for this?
15.
15.
Okay. You managed to perform well enough to not be the clusterfuck that fighting the fire started out being. But yeah, no, you're you stand ready for captain's or spelljammers orders, and you're listening intently. Crystal, go ahead and either give me a survival or a persuasion check.
That is a 21 on persuasion.
Very nice. Yes, you're giving excellent directions with, what rigging needs to be pulled in where, and it's like you're wondering, how do I even know this stuff? Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. It all makes sense. But you're bolstering everyone's spirits, and that's the important part. Morale.
Yes.
Morale is vital on any long 3-minute excursion.
Any long 3-minute excursion.
Yes. And Astra, I
Mhm.
get either an Arcana or a Perception check.
You can absolutely get an Arcana check.
The power of knowledge, I can see.
It'll be a 21.
Outstanding. Yeah, no.
Let me see with my spellbook.
You're manipulating the spelljamming helm. Like that brief training from Sereth, it immediately sunk in. You're moving everything around wonderfully. It's the minute an asteroid starts to look like it's moving into the path, and you just like immediately like figure out the best route up, around, under, slow down, speed up, whatever. You
Excellent.
don't even get brushed once by an asteroid.
Damn.
I'm living for this. Astra's having just the best time.
Look at you go, though.
Once you're through the asteroid cluster, you see the wreckage of a ship that looks like a flying fish, torn
Explain?
apart by celestial debris.
Oh.
Very cool.
That's not spooky at all.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, it doesn't look exactly like a flying fish. It looks like a,
I meant the fact that it was torn apart.
oh yeah, there's that too. But, there's a reason it was abandoned.
Space sharks.
But you can come alongside it and board. So, you choose to pull alongside it?
I mean, you were free to do so, Navigator.
Happily, I will pull alongside.
Yeah.
Space fish.
So, anyone who wants, or anyone that's going to be searching for the logbook, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay.
Still staying back to get the singes out of the ship.
That's what I'm talking about. Another natural 19 for 22.
23
total.
Yeah,
So 20. Okay, so we got like 2 that are above 20. What was Astra's?
17.
Fair?
14.
Okay. Crystal, did you or no?
No, I'm trying to get the singes out of the ship.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody should stay on the ship.
I'll stay on the ship as well. I'm not really.
Okay.
There
So-
looks a little bit checked out.
Chloe, Alistair, and Astra, you immediately spot the logbook floating in the derelict's gravity plane in the captain's cabin, which has been
Well,
like
then-
pretty much rent asunder.
Then I'm gonna grab it.
That's the fun part. It's not exactly solid ground, so
Well,
Alistair's
you
going
need to basically like drift over, or if someone has, I don't know, some kind of spell that can manipulate things at a distance.
can I use Thorn Whip to just like Indiana Jones grab the book and pull it to me?
Of course, the person with mage hand stays behind.
Because it has a range of 60 feet, and anything I hit with it, I can pull 10 feet closer to me.
You know what? Yes,
And then
make me a
if it
spell
moves-
attack. Love it. Love Thorn Whip.
That's a 11. Shit. That ain't gonna do it.
What?
11.
11. Ooh, no, not quite. The whip just like off to the side of the logbook. So,
Alistair is
any-
going to try to run and like jump for it.
through the debris and the deck that doesn't really exist.
Basically, yes, is going to try to bounce off of like the debris in order to grab it and get back.
Give me an athletics check.
All right.
He grabbed
That's
my
25.
whip.
No, he jumped for the deck.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
what was
like-
your
25. I see Cloby's whip and I figure, like, you know, the worst happens.
Oh,
Cloby,
yeah, no, you're like bouncing off of debris and it's kind of going flying after you like jump off of it, but you're managing to actually propel yourself at a decent clip and you grab the logbook and you
Oh,
find
yeah.
the biggest, like most solid piece nearby, and you just like see yourself like kind of careening towards it, but you just bring your knees to your chest, and as soon as you get close to it, spring out and just push off, and you're flying right back to your hammerhead.
All right, perfect. I yell to Astrid and Cloby, like, I have the book. Let's get back to the ship.
Grab the whip and I'll reel you in.
What was that? I couldn't quite hear that.
Is he still floating out there?
He's, I mean, it's 0G, so he's effectively like going towards y'all's ship until like he gets to y'all's stable gravity plane.
I was gonna
the one
tell
on
him
the
to
derelict.
grab my whip and I could
was-
pull him in.
I mean, you can still pull him closer to you, but he's essentially flying right now.
I'm like a bird, I only fly away.
The gravity plane on the derelict was like super unstable because, you know, hadn't been maintained. The one you're on, it's fine. So he's able to escape that gravity plane. But yeah, no, if you want to pull, like, make sure he gets back safe, go ahead and do another, a spell attack. Are you going to choose to grab the whip, Alistair?
Yeah,
Whip it good.
yeah.
Okay, so roll that spell attack with advantage. Cloby.
Okay, so 25 was my higher one.
Okay, yeah, no, you 100% make contact with Alistair.
But I also have to do damage to him now, don't I?
Declare non-lethal.
Like, Alistair just grabs it with his hand.
3
like,
damage.
Fully, like, ripping the thorns.
Oh yeah, no, the thorns like bite really well into your hand and like wrap up your arm. So
3 damage.
Nice.
Are we?
you get a little bit of pain.
It's just like you got pricked by a thorny vine.
Like you ran into a thorn bush a little bit.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Which-
When Alistair lands back on the ship, they're going to take like a deep breath in, and then they're going to use their second wind.
Oh, I have an
to get
inspiration
back.
I should have burned on getting the book.
Yeah, in order to get back 4 hit points, so they heal themselves up from the. You see the thorns on their. You see the cuts on their hand, like just immediately close back.
Yeah,
up.
like
Sorry.
as you like take a moment to like get your shit back together after the damage. You just focus, and you know, while you weren't raised by Githyanki, you have some of that focus, and any thorns that like broke off the whip and like, you know, stayed in you, you're able to focus and just like individually push them out without grabbing them, and the bleeding stops. It ceases to bother you. But you have the book. And leaving the derelict, you'll need to navigate the asteroid cluster again.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and go with the shipmates again with the athletics or acrobatics.
Woo. Okay.
Go. You can do it. We believe in you.
I got an 11.
5.
You know what? You're riding the high from your success. Roll that with advantage.
5.
You too.
Oh, they just
Everybody
meant-
here.
Yeah,
No.
everybody.
Yeah. I got a 16. Okay.
Okay.
19.
7.
Okay. Okay, so in
8.
spite of
8.
Fair, because there's 2 people that succeeded,
There's
1 that
not
failed.
at it
So
right now.
um,
They're not even here.
you're managing to, like, Fair's a little bit lost because they see all like the pretty stars and they just like feel so at home. And it feels just like right. And they're just kind of lost in the sauce. So, but you manage fine. Crystal, let me get either a persuasion or survival. I know what one you're going to pick.
Yeah, that's a 17.
All right, you're giving good directions. You're wondering what the hell is up with Fair, but you're doing, everyone else is doing fine, providing that proper morale and motivation. And Astra,
Do the fuck out of this ship.
Arcana or Perception?
You already know. You already know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a 24
Yeah, I don't
on
know.
Arcana.
Hell yeah, Astra. Good job.
Hell yeah, Astra.
Go, Astra, you know what they say.
And yeah, just like, you feel like challenging yourself a bit and you go a completely different route back out and again avoid any damage to the ship.
We didn't start the fire. It was always burning as the ship's been turning.
What?
Yeah, we didn't start the fire.
But as your ship clears the asteroids, another ship appears. Its sleek
Okay.
frame is painted in a wild shade of pink and designed to resemble an immense squid.
Fire.
Oh no! Oh no! No.
Starlight reflects off the ship's hull, illuminating 2 turret-mounted ballistae,
Fire.
rotating slowly to face your ship.
Fire.
Fire.
Attack.
Well,
So,
we go into like hyperspace or something.
we have weapons on the ship.
yes, you do. Let me grab a snippet of the stats so you can see it. Because they don't have it in one easy picture. Of course not, why would they?
Ship.
Gib.
Yes. But you have 1 ballista and 2 mangonels. Catapults, essentially.
Okay. Alistair, man the ballistas. Other 2 catapults.
Got it.
Okay.
The ballista requires a crew of 3, and the mangonels
Oh.
require a crew of 5
Well, then-
each.
Then
the ballista!
everyone man the ballistas.
Perfect.
I'm just gonna load the ballista because pressure.
Okay. So we are going to run this off of Crystal's initiative because, as the captain, getting the
+10.
directives, and because +10.
Yes. That is a 26.
Yes, you're going before the other one. Nice laugh there, Nick.
Ah,
A laugh that says, "Oh, I'm shocked."
that's brand new information.
So, this ship has a fly speed in combat of 35 feet. And you're basically in just wide open space. The space eels have moved along and they're going about their day.
Does the ship look like it's going to try and attack us?
Well, I mean, the ballista are rotating towards you. So,
Okay.
So then let's fire at them.
so let's see. Out of the three of y'all, who has the best ranged attack?
I have a +2 to my dex.
If we're going spells, I got a +7.
Well, it's dexterity based.
I got a +5.
Dexterity. I got +3 to dexterity.
Okay, so go ahead and roll me a ranged weapon attack, either Cloby or Fair.
A ranged attack?
Ranged weapon attack, yes.
So that's just a
what's yours
d20 plus dex?
Dex plus proficiency, yes.
Okay, so mine would be a total of +5.
Alright, so we both have +5. Do you want to do it, or do you want me to do it?
Can I give whoever does
I'll
it
do it.
inspiration just
Yeah.
in case something goes wrong? Okay.
Go wild.
Is that Bardic Inspiration?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's a d6?
Yes. Only if you miss. If not, you can save it.
Well, I got a nat 20.
Okay,
well, that's
you
a
don't
hit.
need it.
So, yeah, so the ballista does 3d10 damage. So go ahead and max the dice as per Black and Forge table rules.
Oh shit.
So that's 30 plus 3d10.
Yeah.
7, 10, 7. So that's 30 plus 17, so 47.
Nice. Okay. Subtracting that from their current existing hit points. Crystal, is there anything you would like to do that will hinder the opponent's ship?
If they attack us, I want to silvery barbs them.
What's the range on silvery barbs? Because they're about 100 feet away. That's still within short range for ballista, but
60 is
no, it's 6
silvery
feet.
barbs. Question: do Spelljammer ships count as creatures?
so in other supplements have ships counted as. What are you trying to do to the ship?
I was gonna cast Sanctuary on the ship. But if it's not kind of, because the only reason I ask is because it's powered by magic and stuff, and I thought maybe, but if it's not, that's fine.
But also, hang I'm gonna roll, and the dice are going to determine. And cast Sanctuary on the ship. However, you did you spent your action, but Sanctuary is a bonus action, right?
Yes.
Or is it?
Sanctuary is a bonus action.
It's almost like I've used this spell before. So you can use your action to help with the ballista, but you can use your bonus action.
As I put the cannonball into the ballista, is it cannonballs? Is it something else?
It's like the ballista is the giant crossbow looking thing.
Right. I've used these before. I'm stupid. As I helped load it, I afterwards. My internet keeps cutting out on me. It's fine. I'm going to put my hands on like the railing, and a kind of holographic sheet covers what the other ship can see. Covers what the other ship can see, and I'm gonna cast Sanctuary. Aha.
Okay.
They have to make wisdom saving throws to hit us.
Yes, they do.
Or they hit random asteroids.
So, each crew, because there's two ballista, aiming at you.
Cool.
Each going to roll that wisdom save. They're both going to fail that wisdom save.
Nice.
So, yeah, no, they shoot at just like random asteroids.
Nice.
Now, Astra, do you fly closer to the enemy ship, or do you try to maintain?
They did put specific emphasis on bringing the ship back in one piece. And if I can see that they're having no trouble ship at this point, then I'm gonna try and maintain distance still.
Okay. You keep scooting along, but you do not get closer to the enemy ship.
No, thank you.
That's good, because you're actually a little bit faster. Okay, so because of the angles, they were able to get about 80 feet away, but you're still doing fine. Do we want to make another ballista attack?
Yeah.
Would
Because
that take
petty
down the
spite?
sanctuary?
Yeah, that would take
Does
down
it-
the sanctuary, because it's an attack from the ship.
Um,
Or do you just want to maintain sanctuary?
Let me double check.
And they hold their action to attack if they break the sanctuary?
yeah, so
100%.
what I was going to... I think what
Yeah.
Alistair is going to suggest is, what if we start loading the mangonel? And so we wouldn't actually be attacking with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then that shouldn't drop the sanctuary. And then so when we do attack, we'll be a lot.
That's big brain.
Yeah. Just be prepared
Okay,
in
so you're gonna
case.
ready the mangonel
Yeah.
instead?
So yeah, so we're going to use 2 actions to load it and 1 action to aim it. So there still needs another action to aim it and another action to fire it.
So basically setting it up.
Yeah.
If everything drops. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Love that.
And then We're just trying to get away.
Vibes. Okay. And with that in mind, they're going to attempt to try to attack again. And still roll horribly on that wisdom save. Those ballista bolts are just flying into the aether. It's just not great for them. But you're flying along. Everything's going great. Still maintaining
right
sanctuary. Still getting the
Yeah, it just
mangonel
lasts
ready?
for a minute. Like, it's not
Yeah,
concentration
yeah.
or anything. I love this.
Okay. Yeah, it's not.
I thought it was. I just checked. I was like, oh damn.
Yeah, there's some really good cleric spells that are not concentration. They're lagging behind. They're trying, but they're gonna attempt to fire at y'all again, but Sanctuary is not being their friend right now. Or it wasn't. Because they just passed. They both passed the wisdom save.
Damn. Okay.
Right.
Does the mangonel go off now? In
Well,
retaliation.
we have to see if they hit, right? Because they passed the wisdom save. They still need to make.
Oh, now they can make their attacks, right?
Yes. Okay, so they're gonna attempt to shoot with the ballista. Their good rolls went into save, but
I think we're back. Hello? Donde está?
are we?
We should be.
I mean,
That's what it looks like.
it doesn't look like Queso's back from the break yet, so
We'll just let this run to make sure it's
Hello.
working.
I am here.
Okay,
Could
we
you
have a
give
Blake, we just
could
need
you
a
give
queso.
a recap from when they were attacking us to basically now? Because none of that made it.
Cool. Okay, so the squid spelljammer attacked, and it had a hard time getting through the sanctuary that Faircast, but they managed to get through eventually, and even though like that's what they used their good rolls on, is breaking sanctuary, and they weren't able to actually hit. But our intrepid crew got off a shot with the mangonel that they had been readying, and another shot with the ballista, and they decided, you know what? This isn't soft prey. We need to be not here. So they were able to, like, the squid ship peeled off and decided, like I said, decided to be elsewhere. And that's where we join our crew back now. And like I said, all the hits with the deck-based artillery, all through the masterful aiming of our astral elf druid Cloby.
Circle of the gun.
Circle of gun.
Circle of bang.
Circle of Shakraki.
Hell yeah.
And now we're just waiting on Queso to get back, since
Right.
you know she is our actual spelljammer.
In conclusion, the person to take the most damage so far is Alistair.
I don't think I've taken any.
Alistair took 3 damage.
And then healed himself immediately.
And then healed himself for 4, like the overachiever that he is.
Oh, yes.
Not Alistair also having mage hand and jumping for that manuscript we needed.
Because he wanted to flex.
If I can't beat a captain, fine. I'll do it myself. I don't think anybody.
Crystal
Okay.
on the floor with like a sanding paper.
How bad does the ship look, though? Are we good? Are we
Yeah, no, you're solid.
fucked?
Like I said, it was superficial damage. You're fine.
Ah, hello. Maybe?
Person.
Yeah, the school internet shut off on me. And I was like, homophobic! And would you look at that, we're back!
Okay, and we're actually back this time. So
Don't play D&D in college, kids. Your internet will cut out and be like, no! It's a satanic panic all over again. Anyways.
but Dungeons and Dragons, Satan's game.
Dear God!
This game
What,
is
have
totally
you-
tan.
Have you not seen the 8-bit theater thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's a classic.
Wouldn't it be
I'm
Dungeons
attacking
and
the
Devils
darkness.
That's...
But anyway,
Devils and Daddies.
you make it out of the encounter.
You mean-
Did we win?
Yes. Yeah. It decided to fuck off. And off it fucked.
You mean it's?
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So, sorry you were not able to claim the squid ship.
I mean, it's also an illusion.
Shh. Shush.
Alistair thought it was real. Alistair got really into it towards the end. It's like, you good, buddy? War. War never changes.
But, as you travel along, your ship slows, marking the unexpected presence of something else in the vicinity.
Hello?
You take just a moment to spot another hammerhead ship. It's severely damaged and adrift.
Oh no!
Every few
Good mom.
seconds,
She's actually here to pick me up.
every few seconds, bands of electricity ripple out from the center of the hull, dealing further damage to the ship.
Are those the people we were
Um,
fighting against? Are those the other class people?
Yeah, no,
Classmates?
as you get closer, you can see them on the deck.
Oh my god!
Yeah, no, and it's quite obvious they're in trouble. Myken is there, like, waving for help.
Astro.
And,
You guys want to go get them?
Yes,
Sure.
that person gave me a hammer.
Okay. Okay.
yeah, no.
I want
mean,
to steer the ship closer.
When I said to break your legs, this was not what I meant!
Okay,
They don't
so
have it doesn't have legs, it's a ship.
No, the one that
give
gave you
me
the
an
hammer, I told
Arcana
you to
check
break his
to
legs.
avoid the lightning that's arcing out of the ship.
Okay.
Thunder.
Okay, it's gonna be an 18.
Okay, shit, is that your lowest roll for the night?
With
Damn.
Arcana, yeah.
Goddamn.
I have the +6. It's a 12, which isn't normally that good, but I just have a very high Arcana.
Good job. Yes. Astra is built for Arcana checks,
Wants some real speed.
among
bitch.
other things. But yeah, no, you managed to avoid, the arcing energy coming from the ship, and they are elated to see you. Like, yes, thank you for stopping. Ah. And
Where's
this is coming
the
from
Shatter
the
Cat?
little Durgar Inby.
Well,
Like, they looked so grim at the table,
mhm.
and they were just, now they're just like, thank you! Yes! Okay, please, please! And they're like getting their plank ready to set it over to y'all's ship so they can cross.
I go over to steady it and make sure it doesn't, go all over the place.
Yeah, Alistair is going to help them set it up and try to, check if anybody is hurt at all.
Okay, perception check.
That's a natural 20.
Okay. A few of them do have, burns from the arcing energy, but they're still, able to move around, and they're well enough. Like, their clothing is burnt, but the two, acolytes with them, they managed to do, a little bit of healing to keep them up and moving.
Is the Durgar NB hurt?
They managed to avoid the worst of it. There's some slight burns on their school uniform on their side. Actually shows a little bit of that side ab going on, but
Purple constellations across Farah's cheeks. Are you hurt? Do you need healing?
I mean, a little, but it's fine. Fine. Are you fine? Well, hi.
Hi.
Okay,
I cast healing
Before we
word
get
on
going
the
again.
Durgar.
before we get going again, when you are on my ship, you follow my rules. If you are capable, you work. You will help. You will contribute. That is basically it. Okay, let's go.
And they all just give sure, thumbs up.
I cast
What?
healing word on the Durgar NB.
Yeah, you see the
For 9 points of healing. Max healing.
healing flirt.
Yes! Yes! Just almost like a temporary tattoo of sorts. There's on the the cloth of their clothing. There's just a little constellations, and if you look hard enough, you see it's it's kind of in the shape of a heart, but it's not. If you look at it, if you really really look at it, you see it, but it's a cute little constellation thing. It's whatever.
I was thanks. I never saw anything like that back home, or you. And then immediately turns away in panic.
My name's Fair. I scream at them as they walk away.
Do I live? And they're doing the nervous walk to the other end of the ship.
So you know how birds, when they're excited, their wings kind of poof out,
Yeah.
really. I was gonna try and keep these a secret, but I think this is an appropriate moment for just the Twilight constellation wings of Fair to just poof. They're just gonna bust out. They're just kind of standing there what's happening? I don't know what's going on.
And as those wings burst out, the white-blue lines fade away and the simulation ends. And Sarah is sitting there watching with a smirk.
Those are pretty wings.
You made it.
swatting at them to go away.
all of you.
Yeah, Alistair will hand Seraph the book if there's any book left or if it wasn't just part of the simulation.
So you've succeeded well. Hold on. I gotta get the things right again. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So you needed 6 points to pass, and you got 10. Good job saving the other crew. I'm sorry, what was that?
What was the max? Like, what was the highest you could have scored?
Oh my god.
10. Perfect
Okay.
score, Alistair. I just put the scorecard in the chat.
Nice.
Yay!
Love to see it.
But, so, good job. What the hell? Okay. It's like, that song is suddenly intense, but hey, good timing. A bit of what happened, the spelljamming helm on the other ship, it erupted. So, not entirely sure what happened, but as he's saying, or they're saying this, like as the illusion's still fading away, magical energy starts rippling around you like a turbulent crowd or a cloud, and starts to touch the walls and then explodes outward in bolts of lightning, sending everyone flying to the ground. And I need dexterity saving throws.
Oh no!
Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't do that.
That's a.
I got in that one. So.
I rolled a 17.
Nat 20 plus 3.
13.
Because the +3 are important.
Okay, so
a 12.
everyone. Okay, so everyone that got below a 13. I rolled horribly, so you take 7 lightning damage as energy arcs from the walls. And those who passed take 3. So.
Would we take 3 as well?
No, the people that passed take 3 lightning. That's half of 7 right
I'm
now.
resistant to lightning
Okay.
from air
so,
genasi stuff.
yes. Okay, so then you take 3.
Okay. This is somehow the most useful resistant.
It's a handy one to have, especially if Vax is DMing, since they fucking love lightning.
I've never been hurt by lightning damage except while playing this character.
Listen, it just has a good aesthetic, okay?
It's just nice, okay?
It's just pretty.
It really is. Lightning is so pretty.
But as you start to get up, you see Seraph and Bose and Tardo, and it looks like they took the brunt of the blast. Like, they're both standing, but they are heavily charred, and they immediately, like, brain fart. Words need to happen. Okay.
Do they fall unconscious?
No. They are still standing. They're sterner stuff than that. But they look rough. But there's 2 of the cadets that are critically injured.
God.
Alishare rushes to one of
The
them.
Dampier and the Dragonborn.
Alishare rushes to the Dampier in order to help them up, and looks to Bosun.
Crystal's just gonna
critically
stand
hurt. Are
over
they
the
unconscious?
Dragonborn.
Yeah.
No, okay, so I'm gonna use
shit.
my channel divinity to harness divine power and gain back a first level spell slot.
Okay.
And then I'm going to twin spell cure wounds to both of them.
Okay.
Because bonus action, if that at all means anything.
Yeah.
Um,
It just means you're doing this faster, which is good.
the Dragonborn gets 11.
Okay.
And
I think they would both get the same amount.
they
right?
both get the same
Or-
amount, or would I roll twice?
Twin spell, it's counted as 2 separate castings.
Yeah. So and the other gets 14.
Okay.
Oh
Okay, so
shit! I rolled 2d8. My bad. 7 for the Dragonborn. And 7 for 7 and 7. I rolled 2d8
Okay.
on accident.
well, you were trying to roll both the healings at the same time, and then Brain added them.
Yeah.
At least that's the excuse I'm making for you.
So like I run over with Alistair and I'm like, prop their heads up. I need to be able to put a hand somewhere that's safe. I touch the
Got it.
cheeks on either side, left and then right cheek, and my eyes go like purple neon, and then theirs open and do the same, and it's almost like a lightning strike on their face. Purple lightning kind of crackles across the scales, across their face, and dims very slowly. There's a brief moment where they just have like lightning streaks on their face as I take it from them. And the tips of my fingers darken a bit, as if like I put my finger in a socket or something.
The 2 people who seemed like they took the brunt that weren't the other cadets.
The training
How are they
officers,
looking? Yeah, the training officers.
they're basically like, they're standing there like healing each other, because
Okay.
one is a divine soul sorcerer, the other one's a valor bard. So
Thank you, Alistair.
Seems non-standard for how this should go.
Yeah.
And Sarah's just, you're right. It's not supposed to explode.
I just
Maybe
got
I
here. What do I know?
handle how successful we were.
Yes, Crystal. Good for you. This is what happens when someone gets a perfect score. Explosions. If you would like to look for the source of the explosion, feel free.
I'm
So-
gonna sit on the ground.
If you want, you can do an investigation or persuasion perception check, to look around in either of the chambers.
Would anybody
So
like
already
guidance?
knows she is the source. So
Guidance.
I'll do an investigation check, sure.
yeah, Astra still has bardic inspiration. That probably will expire soon.
Alistair, you'll have guidance.
Oh. Alright. In that case, with guidance, I got a 15.
Okay. So was that in this chamber or the other chamber? Because there is another chamber that also suffered a critical failure.
I think
I can look
Alistair
at
is
the other
looking-
chamber
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Oh, are you looking in the other chamber?
if you want me to.
Then yeah, I mean, just as long as they're 2 different chambers. I guess Alistair will look at the one that's closest to
Okay. And Astra, what is your role?
With the +4 and 18.
Nice. Okay,
Cannot
so you
stop me tonight.
Please stop, won't stop.
yes, you're the veritable juggernaut of good rolls.
Not normally.
I'm the fucking
Human
juggernaut.
brain.
It's like
You
you've
know,
seen
you-
how poorly I roll.
Yes, I have. You got to have your on days though.
Ash has got much better luck.
But you notice odd-shaped metal plates, pretty much like jammed into the walls of each of the chambers. It has a bit of a jagged sigil in it, but it appears magical, but you're not sure.
Can I? Are you? Is this the room I'm in?
Both of you find the same, like looking plate.
Can I do
You
an
can
extra
cast.
attack?
You can cast detect magic on it if you want. If you
I
have
don't have
it.
detect magic.
I can opportunity attack it. I'm a fighter.
I would like to cast Burning Hands.
I am a combat wizard. Fuck you. Okay, go ahead and roll that Arcana check.
So I don't have Arcana, but could I use my proficiency with thieves' tools to check for sabotaging?
I
I
only got a
mean, it was a
12.
plate crudely jammed into the wall. It looked like it did not belong.
Sounds like sabotage to me.
Go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
Perfect.
And what was yours, Astra?
12. 12. Not good enough.
You got Bardic Inspiration. You still got that.
Oh.
My
Or did you
intelligence.
use the Bardic Inspiration?
Huh?
Did you use your Bardic Inspiration or no?
Didn't.
Okay, so go ahead and roll that beautiful Bardic Inspiration.
It's a D6.
My intelligence check was a 23 because of a natural 19. I've
Okay.
rolled like three
Okay.
19s.
It's gonna be a 16 now. I rolled a
Okay.
4. Thank you.
With the two of you working together, it's like, okay, yeah, no, there's a powerful magic coming from both of them. It's abjuration, you think. It's harder to tell without actually detect magic. But yeah, these are definitely things that disrupted the magic of the simulation chambers. Do
Hmm.
you take them to Sereth or Bosantardo?
So
I mean,
have a
I
question.
will.
No, okay, you ask first then. Never mind.
I was just gonna say I'll default to whatever Alistair wants to do in this situation.
Okay. So in that case, I wanted to ask, where are these things? Like, first of all, like, is this like something that was like in like the machinery of the simulation, or like would I have been able to see this object while we were like doing the thing?
While you were doing no, because you weren't able to see like the actual walls during the simulation. But because of the resulting explosion, they were exposed. But they looked like they were like roughly shoved under like a plate or something. So they were hidden if you weren't paying attention. Like they were well hidden if you like were just generalized not paying attention.
Okay.
But after like they caused damage, you know, it kind of ripped away what was hiding them.
Yeah, and then so can I tell? Is it like the plates themselves? Like, are these things explosive, or is it only their presence in the spell jamming, look like apparatus that is dangerous? Like, if they had been taken out before they exploded, would they still be dangerous?
With your intelligence check, You can tell they were made to disrupt at a specified time. So if they were on a person when they disrupted, it's a little bit harder to gauge what would have happened.
Gosh.
So yeah, these
Jealous.
are like anti-magic time bombs.
Okay, so anti-magic time bombs, does that mean on somebody who doesn't have magic, would they be like relatively okay?
I think this is like, I forget what the spell is, but it's like a ward, and if you touch it, it like explodes, kind of in the similar vein of.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it is.
Contingency, maybe? Are you talking about
Yeah,
No, not
contingency?
but the name is not coming to me.
Oh.
There's
Is it
wards
guards
and
and wards?
bonds.
Guards
Guards
and
and
wards?
wards, that's it.
Oh.
This can
Yeah.
it's set, and it can have either like you touch it and it goes off, or something happens and it goes off. A contingency is usually on a person or
Yeah.
object or something like that.
Yeah. So is that type of effect that we're seeing like something that basically like would trigger, like, you know, if either naturally whenever it's, or like when somebody messed with it, like if they had seen it?
A little less like that, because that's usually, set on a permanent structure. Like I said, I'm, as obviously you can tell, it's just straight up sabotage. It's not a ward, it's disruption.
Yeah.
Someone is a little less than happy with the Spelljammers of Toril.
Yeah. All right, then I think Alistair will, you know, default to just presenting the plates to the administrators or whatever it is, telling them what they found and what they think.
Okay, well, you bring it to Bosun Tardo and Sereth?
Yeah.
Okay. Bosun Tardo scowls and points at the sigil while she looks to Sereth. Look familiar to you? Sereth's quicksilver eyes scan the object coldly. Vokath. I should have suspected.
Is that
It appears the Mercane's grudge against Mert has become a vendetta. The old wolf must be told.
He's the drunk one, right?
They just like flick their eyes coldly at you and then just ignoring that.
Sounds like a yes.
I looked at the two students that had gone unconscious, and hands kind of trembling because I'm now out of spell slots and basically everything. Are you guys okay?
Yeah, just shooken up mostly. Wow. That was rough.
Yeah.
This is Micken talking.
Bitches are jealous. What are you gonna do?
But yeah. But hey, it's it looks like we're gonna have to go back through the training because this happened to ours before we even made it to the asteroid field.
It
Oh, shit.
exploded before you made it.
Yeah.
Planning
No, it was
everything.
rough. But hey,
Maybe I'll just need to
y'all-
switch up leadership and stuff.
You did great. So good job. It
Thank you.
yeah, no, we're gonna go to medic station.
Okay. Feel better.
And with that, simulation has drawn to a close. As an award for winning the competition against the other squad,
Which was not hard.
no, it really wasn't. Each one of you gets 100 gold pieces.
Oh!
Oh shit.
Why is the school
And
giving
for
me so much
school?
money?
Because it's founded or it's funded by some very wealthy people.
100 you
Also,
said?
yes. And
Thank you.
you advance to level 3.
Oh.
So, those of you who don't have them yet, welcome to your subclasses.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yay.
But we don't like long rest and stuff, no?
You will before the next session, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all for the evening. Thank you everyone for joining us for episode 3 of Spelljammer Academy. Hope to see you next time.
Woo, woo, woo!